Hello, and welcome back to Attack on Titan enthusiasts. Please be aware, this video contains spoilers up to the final chapter of the manga. Falco was a warrior candidate who first appeared in the Marley arc of Attack on Titan. In Volume 30, Chapter 119, he inherits the Jaw Titan, and later also develops the characteristics of the Beast Titan, gaining wings and becoming the first flying Titan. This might have been a shock to many people. However, there was actually a lot of foreshadowing in the story, pointing to Falco becoming a bird-shaped Titan. In this video, we'll go over this foreshadowing about Falco and explain why he became a bird-shaped Titan. Falco's transformation into a Titan. First, let's take a brief look at how Falco became a Titan in order to understand why he became a bird-shaped one later. As a warrior candidate, originally he was going to inherit Reiner's armored Titan power, but he was exposed to wine containing the spinal fluid of Zeke, the heir to the Beast Titan's power, and Zeke's scream turned him into a pure Titan. In order to turn Falco back into a human, Porco, the heir to the Jaw Titan, chose to let himself be eaten, and Falco inherited the power of the Jaw Titan. Falco's new Titan was originally just a Jaw Titan with powerful claws, but because he had been exposed to Zeke's spinal fluid, he also developed the characteristics of a Beast Titan, and eventually gained the ability to fly. There was a lot of foreshadowing leading up to this moment, so let's go step by step and take a look at each one. The statement by the Marleyan General. The most obvious foreshadowing for there eventually being a bird-shaped Titan were the words made by a Marleyan General in Volume 23, Chapter 93. There's a scene where a Marleyan General wonders if there have ever been any Titans with wings, as they have a discussion on the fact that eventually the Titans that Marley has will be rendered useless by technologies like the airplane. At this point, they were already hinting at a flying Titan appearing in the future. The name Falco. Another obvious instance of foreshadowing that Falco will become a bird-shaped Titan was his name. It obviously comes from the word falcon. We found out that back when Falco's character was still just a concept, his last name wasn't Grice. He was originally named Falco Bach. Because of this, we can see that the name Falco was very important and wasn't given randomly, because it was obviously more important than his last name. Falco's first appearance. Falco Grice first appears in Volume 23, Chapter 91. Here, Falco is lying on the ground, staring at a bird, telling it to fly far away, someplace safer. He's also extending his hand to the sky, in a pose similar to that of the last scene where Ymir appeared alive in Volume 12, Chapter 50. This wasn't foreshadowing that Falco would become a bird-shaped Titan, but it may have been foreshadowing that Falco would inherit the Jaw Titan. Falco's line in the first episode of the anime's final season, not long after the scene we were just talking about. The next words we get from Falco are slightly different than they were in the original manga. Falco says, "Who are you guys? Wasn't I just flying around with swords in my hands, going up to Titans?" He gets interrupted by a bucket of water that brings him back to his senses, but he was obviously referring to the soldiers from Paradis Island using the 3D maneuver gear. There's no way Falco should have known about this when he first appeared in the story, so fans began to wonder if this was foreshadowing for something. A lot of people think that the reason why he knew about the 3D maneuver gear was because the chapter where Falco becomes a flying bird-shaped Titan was published in Bessatsu Shonen magazine on December 9th, 3 days after December 6th, the day this episode of the anime was released. It seems like Isayama-sensei and the people behind the anime were working together behind the scenes to give this 3D a deeper meaning. The bird in the ending of the final season of the anime. The first ending song of the final season of the anime is Shock, sung by Ando Yuko, and Falco appears a lot. The relationship between him and birds is emphasized highly here, showing him reaching up with his hand open in the beginning of the ending, and then close to the end of it, his hand closes, as if he manages to grasp whatever he was reaching for. After that, it seems like he lets it go, and it flies away again. This directly represents Falco's role in the story, him gaining the power to fly in the final battle and then losing his Titan powers. There's also a large bird in the second opening of the first season, near where Bertolt is placing his hand on the mural. It may be difficult to interpret this as a Titan, but it does seem a lot larger than a normal bird would be. If this is a Titan in bird form, then there may have been other flying Titans in history besides Falco. That would explain how he got the memories of flying through the Beast Titan. Why Falco became a bird-shaped Titan. Falco was the inheritor of the Jaw Titan, and the heirs to Jaw Titans have never become bird-shaped Titans before. So some people might have thought it was weird that Falco suddenly becomes a bird-shaped Titan. As we stated earlier, Falco first became a pure Titan because of Zeke's spinal fluid. Eldians who've absorbed Zeke's spinal fluid will become Titans if they're in range when he screams. This is what happened to Falco. So, he had absorbed spinal fluid from the Beast Titan before he inherited the Jaw Titan. But the Beast Titan's still alive, so how did he gain the Beast Titan's powers? Gaining new abilities through drinking spinal fluid. Annie mentioned in her conversation with Falco that the female Titan is particularly adept at manifesting the powers of the other Titans by taking in their spinal fluids. So Zeke doesn't have to die for the other 9 Titans to be able to gain some of his abilities through his spinal fluid. Similar to how Eren, after drinking spinal fluid, gained the ability to harden despite the armored Titan being alive. The Beast Titan and female Titan can also use hardening. Annie trapping herself in a crystal is obviously a power from the Warhammer Titan, and Zeke's ability to scream to control the Titans is a power he probably gained from the female Titan's spinal fluid, combined with his royal blood. Seeing how not just the female Titan, but even other Titans were able to gain new abilities through spinal fluid, it must be the same case for Falco, only he absorbed the spinal fluid of another Titan before becoming an heir to one of the 9 Titans, where everyone else did it after. The rules of the Beast Titan's Gacha. Zeke is the heir to the Beast Titan and looks like an ape, but heirs of the Beast Titan don't always look like apes. In Volume 34, Chapter 135, the 9 Titans from previous generations appear. Some of them were thought to be the heirs of the Beast Titan, but they weren't similar to Zeke's Titan in any way. This could mean that the Beast Titan you get is selected randomly, similar to a gacha game, or maybe the will of the person who becomes the Titan is involved. Zeke used to enjoy playing catch with Sava, the previous heir to the Beast Titan, and the anime shows Zeke playing with a stuffed monkey as a child. So it's possible that factors like these contributed to Zeke becoming an ape-shaped Beast Titan. It's also possible that instead of it being completely random or based on the person, it's decided by the Chinese zodiac. Sava's Beast Titan came in the form of a sheep, the 8th sign of the Chinese zodiac. The 9th sign is the monkey, and Zeke was an ape. The 10th sign is the rooster, and Falco became a bird. Considering the order of the Chinese zodiac, the next person to inherit the Beast Titan might have been a dog, and in the last page of the last chapter, we see a boy with his dog next to the large tree where Eren is buried. I wonder what the first Beast Titan will look like if this boy gains the power of the founding Titan, and Titan powers reappear. The mystery of Eren's bird-eye view of Falco. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be any connections between Eren and Falco, but the appearance of Falco in a fragment of Eren's memory in chapter 130 led to speculation about the connection between the two. When this chapter was first published in Bessatsu Shonen magazine, there was a lot of fuss about whether Falco was going to inherit the Attack Titan in the future. because Eren hadn't met Falco yet when he kissed Historia's hand and saw him. But with the Attack Titan, you could see the memories of your future inheritors. In the end, the story reaches its conclusion without Falco inheriting the Attack Titan. So, why did Falco appear in this fragment of Eren's memory? The key to this is the bird that wraps Eren's scarf around Mikasa near the end of the final chapter. This species of bird is called a Jaeger, and is most likely a reincarnation of Eren. If Eren died and became a bird in his next life, it's possible that the previous heirs to the Attack Titan were also reincarnated as birds after their deaths. All Titan shifters can see into the memories of their past heirs. So, maybe as the Attack Titan, the memory Eren has of looking down on Falco from a bird's point of view may not be Eren's, but it's really a memory from a past heir of the Attack Titan, like Grisha, who had been reborn as a bird. In chapter 131, there's a scene where Eren has his arms spread out above the clouds, saying this is freedom. So I think it makes sense that he will be reborn as a bird. There's another possibility that instead of representing past Attack Titans, birds in a way are connected to the subjects of Ymir and their memories. We've talked before about how many parts of Attack on Titan were highly influenced by Norse mythology, and two ravens, Hugin and Munin, appear in Norse mythology as well. Hugin means thought, and Munin means memory. I'm willing to bet that the birds in Attack on Titan also represent Munin, and can share their memories to Eren through the coordinate, the tree that the mysterious lifeform is first found in, the 9 Titans, the existence of Titans as a whole, and the name of the first Titan, Ymir, are all ideas that were pulled directly from Norse mythology. So I think the idea of these birds in the series being related to Munin is highly likely. Okay, that's it for this one. If you have any other thoughts on why Falco became a bird-shaped Titan, or have any questions about Falco appearing in Eren's memories, please let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again in the next video.